Some of the worst crimes imaginable are committed against children, especially sexual abuse. And unfortunately, right here on this stage, I've had to meet many of the monsters who have been convicted of these crimes. Most of them swear that they didn't do the heinous acts they were accused of. And Daniel, who was indicted for sexually abusing a 5-year-old, was not only able to convince Roberta that he was innocent, but also to marry him. Watch this. Welcome to the show. My guest is Roberta. You called the show. Why?
Because my husband was wrongly accused of being a sexual offender, and my kids are being taken away from me. It's ruining my life. He didn't do it. He was never charged, was never convicted. It was just because a girl got jealous, and he didn't want her, and she wanted him.
And that was how long ago?
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yes.
And you're losing your kids now?
Yes.
And why is that? If this happened 12 years ago, why would you lose your kids now?
Because of in CPS's computer, they're saying that he was charged of it. They can't find no paperwork. They can't find nothing. And so they're saying that since they can't prove it one way or the other, that it is a risk to my children.
Did you know about these allegations before you married your husband?
Yes, and I checked into them to make sure they weren't
How
true.
did you check into them?
I went on to the registered sex offender sites and made sure that he was not registered. It's put a lot of strain on our marriage, but we're trying. They made us split up, and so we tried to stay, because so I can get my kids back, we tried to stay away from each other, but we can't live without each other, and we figure we fight together instead of being apart.
They said, okay, until we clear this up, we're going to, you need to stay away from him. You tried to stay away for 2 years. Finally, you said, what, I don't want to live my life?
It's not working anymore. They didn't give me my kids back, so why stay away from him if it's not going to work to get me my kids back?
If he can't pass his lie detector test, you're done. And then you're going to go to DCFS and say, hey, I want my kids back, and
yes,
we're done, and you're going to get divorced? Or
they came into my house accused of a dirty home, and then she said it was all unfounded. I got paperwork showing that.
I'm asking you, did you have a dirty home?
No,
okay,
I did not.
So this is the police coming to your home. There was a strong odor of feces and urine throughout the home. Wood floors were damaged by feces and urine. The main floor of the bathroom window was broken out, and the crawl space in the basement was filled with feces and urine. You had 2 children, they were taken away, and now you went on to have 2 more, knowing that they were going to take your kids away, right?
No, I thought I was getting my kids back. I didn't do anything wrong. My husband didn't do anything wrong.
You know all these allegations, it's not been cleared up. Why would you have 2 more children knowing that this big investigation is still being open, and you don't have 2 of your other kids? Now you have 4 children that are not with you, right? Because they took the 2 children that you had since this all happened.
Yes.
Your first 2 children have been away from you for how long?
For 3 years.
For 3 years. Now these other 2 children that you had since this happened, how long have they been away?
One of them for about a year, and the other one for almost 3 years too. No, 2 years, sorry. Okay. Daniel
was indicted by DCFS in March of 1997 for sexual penetration of a 5-year-old. In 1998, Daniel performed a tattoo on a 14-year-old by placing his and her name in her pubic region. Did you know about that? You're with the guy that put his and her name on a 14-year-old's pubic region. Okay. That happened, right?
He was never, it was all cleared.
First of all, what 20-year-old is with a 14-year-old?
Someone makes a bad mistake.
But you're saying if he fails this lie detector test, then you're done with him?
Yes.
For one, I'm not guilty. I didn't do nothing that I've been accused of. And half the information you got is wrong.
The court papers are wrong?
Yeah, they're definitely wrong. What you have is 14-year-old I done a tattoo on. No, she was 17 for one. And no, there wasn't a sexual relation there.
Court papers say she was 14 years old.
Yes. Yeah, they admitted that that was a typo that they would straighten and never have since then.
It was a typo.
I was dating Dina, and Dina wanted me. We didn't actually date. We just got together for about a week or so. And she wanted to tell me that she was pregnant and that I wouldn't leave her and leave the girl that I was with at the time. And she wanted me, and I said, no, I'm not. She said, well, I'm pregnant. I don't want to be left alone with another kid and not have a father. I said, well, if it's mine, I'll be there for you. But other than that, I'm not going to be with you. She said, well, if I can't have you, then no one's going to have you. They've done everything you can think of for that investigation, even done doctors. Let me see, I did a polygraph test, had me in front of doctors, had the kid in front of doctors. Kid don't even remember it at the time.
These allegations resurface many years later, right?
12 years later.
And your kids get taken away?
Kids got taken away. We had a daughter. She was 2 months old. DCFS came to the house. They found allegations unfounded. Come back a couple months later and turn around and say, well, we got a problem. We found something. We're going to have to ask you to leave the home again. I said, what's the problem? I already informed you of all this. I told you it was there. Well, we couldn't find it at first. Well, what'd you find? Well, we found the indication finally, but we can't find the case, so we don't know what happened. I said, well, it looks like you need to be finding the case then. Well, until the meantime, you're going to have to leave the home. And ever since then, I've had to be out of the home.
But you guys haven't really stayed apart.
No, we've bounced back and forth. We tried to, to fight together once before and it just made things worse. For what? You're a lying. No, you're a lying ass bitch, and you know better. You know better. I know better. You had everybody there lie. You had everyone there lie.
You are sick.
Don't walk
She was
up on
5 years old.
That's fine. It's
No,
fine.
you know
What are you doing?
Then why did you investigate?
No, I'm tired of you lying. 12 years later.
Take him off. Take him off stage.
12 years later. 12 years later.
Dude, hey, you want to get up, huh? If you want to talk to this woman and get your anger off your chest, that's one thing. But you're not going to go after her. And if you do it again, I swear to God, you'll be leaving the studio in handcuffs. Do you understand me? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that you're Dina.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you tell me your side of the story?
My daughter was 4 years old, and I had went out one night and left her with the friends and family, and I had got a call home that he had broken the door. There was my friends and family there. There was witnesses, and the witness had said that he had made my daughter put his... I called the cops. They called DCFS. There was a whole investigation. He was indicated by DCFS.
Usually when you hear a story like this, it's he was watching the kids and you went out and he was the only one there and this happened. Not like, I'm just being honest here. I've never heard a story where the guy kicks open the door and where's that 5-year-old and I'm gonna, sexually assault it. And there's other people in the house. I've never heard a story like that.
It is crazy, Steve. I agree with you.
I've never even heard this part about kicking in the door. I've never even heard that part. But I can think of a wolf that told that story, and now I know how the lie came about.
Your daughter, who allegedly this happened to, right?
Yeah.
She's here.
Yeah.
Let's bring out Annalisa.
You're a liar. You know why you did this to me? And you know how my life feels now? I was 4 years old.
Supposedly you're 5.
No, I was 4. My life now because of you.
So do you say that you vividly and you can remember him doing this to you?
Yeah.
And you still have it in your mind?
Yeah.
You took a lie detector test before the show and you were asked, did you sexually molest a 5-year-old girl about 12 years ago? You answered no. As an adult, did you ever coerce a child to touch you in a sexual manner? And you answered no. And the results of your polygraph test is that you did not tell the truth.
What?
You sick son of a bitch!
No, that's impossible.
It's not impossible. The administrator also noted Daniel was also purposely...
No, I still know I didn't touch her.
Daniel was also purposely non-cooperative during the testing process. He constantly moved, took deep breaths, coughed, talked, and laughed during the administration of the test. His purposeful non-cooperation was an attempt to conduct countermeasures. Your whole conduct, all these years, the way you act, I think you're a liar. I think it's proven today that you're a liar. I think you're a dirtbag, and I don't want you on my stage anymore. Get the hell out of here. I know this must be a very traumatic thing for you, must be very difficult, but we would also like to offer you counseling, maybe help you heal from what happened to you, and wish you all the luck in the world and hope you can get over something like this, okay?
Thank you.
You did. You picked him over your children. And that's tough. Do you miss your kids?
Yes, every day.
And if you want to go back and be with Daniel and fight with him and keep going down that road of not having your children, you can go out that door and be with Daniel. if you really want your kids back, and maybe we can help and get you counseling, and if you stay away from him like you're supposed to do to get your children back, maybe we can help in some way. And then you go out that door, and you don't even have to say anything. You pick a door on how you want your life to go. Within days of meeting, Jasmine and Donnie fell in love. They moved in together immediately, and the relationship is going great. That was until Jasmine saw a letter in the mail addressed to Donnie from the sex offender registry. Although Donnie swore up and down that he was innocent, Jasmine needed more convincing. Take a look.
I've been with Donnie for 5 months. So far, our relationship is awesome and incredible. And he just kept telling me that he had to tell me something. Before he got a chance to tell me what he needed to tell me, I got a letter in the mail stating that he's registered as a sex offender. My heart dropped. And it kind of made me curious, like, okay, we live in the same house. I don't believe that he's a sex offender. I called him immediately, asking him, what's going on? Is this what you've been trying to tell me? And he said he'll be home soon. I waited and waited, and the whole time I'm waiting, I'm nervous, thinking like, what is this about? What is this about? Pacing the floor. And that's when he finally came home. He said that he was 18 years old, and an older woman that he knew forced herself on him. And then she turned around and said that he raped her. At the time, I couldn't believe what he was saying. And then another part of me was thinking like, okay, maybe he is telling the truth. We just need to get to the bottom of this. So I told Donnie that he needs to clear his name and that we need to call the Steve Wilkos show. It's hard for him to get a job, and it's hard. His life is hard with this on his record. So I think he should just clear his record and clear his name and be happy. I really believe that Steve can help him if he was wrongly convicted of a crime that he didn't do. I have no doubt in my mind that he's not lying. But if I do find out that he's lying, I don't know how to feel. It would be a devastating feeling. It would turn my world upside down.
Donnie, when you were 18 years old, you were accused of sexually assaulting a woman. What happened?
What happened, Steve, is that I was 18 years of age. I was on my way to graduating, and I was in the neighborhood. A female of the neighborhood asked me what was I doing. I said, I'm about to go home, get ready for graduation rehearsal. We stood standing in front of my house. She's like, can I come in? I'm like, all right, come on. We go in the house. Now we in the basement, we chilling, we talking. As we talking, out of nowhere, she just come like, can I give you oral sex? I'm like, no, I just told you, I got plans. Like, I need to go to sleep. Like, can I get you out the house? Like, you need to leave. Like, and it just, she popped it right back on me. Can I give you oral sex? So I just wound up giving in, like, you feel me? She older than me, I'm only 18, she a few years older than me. I'm like, all right, come on. So I give in. When I give in, and she do it, she leave, I go upstairs. 2 hours later, a family member come to me like, they saying that you raped the girl in the neighborhood.
How many hours later?
2.
2 hours later.
So I say, what? Before I know it, the police is pulling up. Now when the police is pulling up, they instantly grab me, read me my Miranda rights, tell me what you're on arrest for, rape and kidnapping. So I'm rape and kidnapping, wow, I never even.
They charged you with rape and
kidnapping. I'm like, I never did that, sir. Like, they're like, well, this is what they're saying. I'm like, so just because she's saying this, that mean I did this? He's like, well, I mean, what else can we do? So they get me to the county jail, they book me in or whatever. So now they give me a public pretender. So I'm talking to him. He's like, well, Mr. None that we really can do for you because it's your word against her word. And I'm like, well, my word is, I got some oral sex that was really the whole time I'm in jail. I'm just like, Mom, gone, like I done missed high school graduation. I can't get that back. I'm doing time that I'm never gonna get back. Once it went from, we were jumping from rape and kidnapping to sexual battery and abduction, I'm like, all right, I'll go with that. Because you telling me if I go to trial, I'm doing at least 10, 15 years. But you telling me if I take this, I can go home on probation, you feel me, register for the rest of my life as a sex offender.
And how long were you in the county for?
I was in the county for 5 months.
Oh,
fighting the case for 5 months. So
I believe you. I want to believe everything you're saying. I'm just here to get the results today.
Well, I know you believe in me. And you probably think I didn't do it, but I'm here to prove to you that I really didn't do it today, Jasmine.
How's the relationship going since you've been in it?
Since our relationship started, we instantly clicked. We like a perfect match for each other.
Where'd you guys meet at?
At a friend's house.
Okay. And you met him right away, and you liked him right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And before the letter came, you guys were living together, or?
Yes, we was living together for, I want to say, a couple weeks.
Right. So he told you. All right, Donnie, you came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked you. In 2009, did you have sexual intercourse with the female in question? You answered no. In 2009, did you force the female in question to perform oral sex on you? You answered no. In 2009, did you force the woman in question into your home? You answered no. The results came back all the same, and they came back inconclusive due to illegal drug use. Donnie told Dan that on Sunday night between 11 o'clock and midnight, he smoked marijuana and also used cocaine. And you did exactly what they told you not to do. Because they told you not to use drugs, right?
Yes.
Right. And you knowing that you want to clear your name of this horrible crime to prove to the woman that you loved, you smoked marijuana and you snorted cocaine. Why did you do that?
Stressed out for real.
You what?
Stressed out.
You're stressed out. I'm just curious, what do you feel about that, knowing that he had to stay off drugs to prove that he didn't do this, that he went, and you know you were wasting our time, right? But why'd you even come here?
Because I wanted to set the record straight.
But you can't set the record straight. And listen, I want to believe you, right? I mean, we want to believe in him.
I apologize for wasting everybody's time.
What do you want to say to him? I mean, because you came here because you were expecting the truth. You were expecting, hey, he's going to prove to me that he didn't do this. And now he did that.
I came here today just for the result. I didn't come here for nothing else. I just wanted the truth. Like, I don't know.
Now he wasted your time, too. Can you stay off drugs? I mean, that's the biggest question.
Yes, I can stay off drugs.
What if you go home and you're stressed again?
I'm not gonna let that stress me out. It's a lot, though. I swear, Steve, it's a lot. I'm going.
Mary, you want to give him another chance? Sure. It's your call. You see, your producer's saying she'll give you one more chance.
I appreciate that, Mary.
Did you hear what she just said?
What she said?
That's my wife. And she said, don't do it. Anything. You heard. No alcohol, not a beer, not a joint, nothing. We'll have you back because this is pretty important to you, right?
Yes.
And this is pretty important to you, right? How much does she mean to you?
A lot.
Okay. But if you take a puff of marijuana, if you take a sip of alcohol, don't get on my plane. Don't get on that plane. Don't come here. Okay?
Yes.
Don't waste our time. Can you do that?
Yes.
I'll see you in a week. It's been 1 week since Donnie's lie detector test came back inconclusive due to drug use. Jasmine says she's grateful that we're giving him a second chance, but she's more nervous than ever about the results. Take a look.
Last week, I was really angry about the results. They were inconclusive, and I was hoping for a yes or a no. After finding out that Donnie used drugs to make the test inconclusive, it had my heart broken, and I really feel embarrassed. I really believed that he was going to pass. This past week, I've been watching over him, keeping him in the house, keeping him around me everywhere we go, making sure he doesn't do anything to make this test wrong and embarrassing. The only time I wasn't around him this week was over the weekend. He wanted to go watch a fight. So I told him if he wanted to go out, he has to play by my rules. My rules for him were you can't do alcohol, you can't do drugs, you can't do anything. You can just watch the fight and come home. And I told him he better answer every call, every text that I send him. Even though he answered his phone, that doesn't mean he didn't use drugs or alcohol. If he fails this test this time, I'm gonna be really hurt. The more I get to know him, the more secrets come out. I wanna know what else he's keeping from me. Today, I'm hoping that he passes this test so that he can clear his name and everything will be settled. He is a good person, but the secrets I can't take no more.
Donnie, you're back for a second chance. Last week around the show, you took a lie detector test, was inconclusive due to drug use. And I forgot, why did you say you did drugs even though after we told you not to?
Just under a lot of peer pressure, hanging with the wrong guys for real.
And how did this last week go not doing drugs?
I mean, it was easy. I mean, I don't do drugs like that. I smoke marijuana, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't do coke like that. Like, it was just under peer pressure.
So I was told that we gave you the lie detector test this week, and we did get a conclusive result. Do you feel good about your lie detector results? You think it's going to come back positive in your favor?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's bring your girlfriend back out, Jasmine.
I hope you telling the truth this time, because I don't want to be in Paris for two times in a row. That's not what I want to do. That's
Well,
not
I've
what
been
I'm
around
here
you the
for.
whole time, so you should know that I can assure you that I ain't do no drugs this time.
Okay.
Were you nervous this past week that he might do drugs again?
I was only nervous for the first day. I let him go outside, and that was to watch the fight. But other than that,
But he came home and he assured you that he didn't?
he was clear. He seemed clear. He didn't smell like alcohol or any other thing. I just want to know. I just want to know the truth. Did you do it or did you not?
Do you believe him?
Before I believed him, but the first time.
Because of the drug use, you're thinking maybe he's trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Okay. You came back and we had to give you a drug test because last week you failed. And this week you tested positive for marijuana, which can stay in your system for up to 30 days. So even though you tested positive, it's probably still in your system. But even with the drug test being what it is, I've been told that we did get a conclusive result on your lie detector test. All right, Donnie came here, and we asked him, in 2009, did you have sexual intercourse with that female in question? He answered no. In 2009, did you force that female in question to perform oral sex on you? He answered no. In 2009, did you force that woman into your home? He answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Donnie told the truth.
I knew my heart was right. I knew it. I knew you didn't do it. I knew you didn't do it. I'm so happy.
You know now, how does it feel knowing that you're proving yourself that you didn't do this?
It feel good.
Yeah. So you can continue on with the relationship now?
Yes.
And I would just say no more peer pressure with the drugs, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, that could lead to a lot of bad things, right? So I hope that maybe you get home, you can get some legal counsel, maybe fight this, get this taken off your record so you can go on and not be labeled a sex offender. and I wish you all the best of luck in your relationship. Thanks for coming back.
I'm really happy. I can't even explain nothing else. I'm happy.
Jasmine, I love you. No, I'll never lie to you again. I want to say I appreciate Steve for giving me a second chance to come prove myself. And I love everybody at the show. I appreciate y'all for the love y'all showed me and the support.
Same for me. Same for me.
I mean, come on here if you ain't do it, man. Come on here to Steve Wilkos show. They're gonna help you out, get you where you need to be, man. Get the results that you need.
Donnie's wife, Danielle, came home from work visibly shaken. Why? Danielle broke the news to Donnie that her stepfather, Philip, committed a lewd act in front of her and had tried to touch her inappropriately. But the story doesn't end there. Danielle found out that her stepfather was a registered sex offender and that her mother was protecting him. Watch this. 2 weeks ago, Donnie's wife, Danielle, came home from work visibly shaken. At first, she was reluctant to tell Donnie what was wrong, but she finally told him what happened. And Donnie was not prepared to hear Danielle tell him what her own stepfather did to her earlier that day. Take a look.
4 months ago, my wife and I, we moved in with her mother and her stepfather.
My daughter and her husband and my grandbabies needed a place to stay, so I let them come to my house.
Danielle and I have 2 small children.
I love my grandbabies being around.
My kids, they got to be around their grandma and their grandpa, and they loved it. This guy, Philip, he was very nice, very caring. He cared about our kids a lot, and he cared about us. Philip is the one that gives us rides and back and forth to work.
He'd been giving her rides 7 days a week.
2 weeks ago, my wife came home from work, and I was cooking dinner. So when she walked in the door, I asked her, hey, how she was doing and how her day was. The way I knew there was something wrong is because she had her hands over her face and she was starting to cry. So I asked her what was wrong. She told me that her stepfather, he was masturbating in the car with her right there in the passenger seat. She told him to stop, but he wouldn't. So she got a blanket and put it over her head all the way on the ride home, which is an hour. When she told me this, I could not believe it. She also told me that for the last 2 months, he's been trying to touch her in her private areas. I was very furious and upset with him. I told her that she needed to let her mother know.
And then my daughter came to me and said my husband was inappropriate with her. I asked him, he said she's lying, she says he's lying. What am I supposed to believe? I want to believe my daughter, but I want to believe my husband too. I'm torn.
We were very shocked that Tina completely took her husband's side and did not believe her daughter not one bit.
Danielle has a history of lying. She has a history of accusing men of sexual assault.
So on top of this, we are all now finding out that he is a sex offender.
My husband is a registered sex offender. He got accused of exposing himself to minor children. This was many years ago, and I don't believe he did it.
Well, my kids living with Philip, knowing that he's a sex offender, it made us very upset.
I believe he's innocent of that too.
I will not allow my kids to go anywhere near him.
My daughter moved out. I don't get to see my grandkids anymore, and I don't know what to do. I need answers.
Did you know he was a sex offender before you married him? Yeah. But he explained that he didn't really do it, right?
And I gave him the benefit.
You gave him the benefit of the doubt. But why wouldn't you tell your daughter, who's moving in with your grandchildren, that they're moving into a house with this registered sex offender? I mean, I understand you're giving the benefit of the doubt, but doesn't she have a right to know whether to make her own mind, whether she wants to give him the benefit of the doubt, because these are her children?
I'm just overwhelmed, shocked, and scared to death.
Yeah, because, God, are you still on probation?
No, sir.
Oh, so you're off?
Yes.
Right, so you're not even on parole or anything?
Just got arrested every year.
You got arrested every year. And I gotta imagine if you get convicted again, that'd be really bad.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah. Why do you think she's making these accusations against you?
I really can't answer that.
She's just doing it to do it? She just doesn't like you? She wants to harm you? What
I
reason?
just said that I was done with taking them back and forth to work.
So she's mad that you won't drive her anymore. So she goes, by the way, he touched my breast and he pulled out his penis and started masturbating.
And then I kept getting the stories and more stories and more
And she's
stories.
totally lying about all this.
And then I've gotten stories from...
So she's totally lying about this? There's no, I thought you knew. I think I told you.
I
No, when you're married to a registered sex offender, you tell your kids, I'm married to a registered sex offender. When you move in this house, a registered sex offender is going to be there. Not, I thought you knew. That's, you know it. And the fact that you know, like, listen, I don't even know this story, right? But I'm a little versed in law because I was a policeman. And when he got out, they said, you can't be around children. He's a registered sex offender. You allow him to break the law with your own grandkids. And I don't know. I'm not saying that I know this for sure, but I think the fact that you knew and you're allowing him to do it, that you might be breaking some law yourself. Your daughter, Danielle, came here to take a lie detector test because she came to you and said, hey, this guy's groping me, exposing himself, and we asked her, did Philip touch your breasts? She answered, yes. Did Philip expose himself to you in his truck? She answered, yes. The results came back the same to each question, and they came back that Danielle told the truth. So Philip came here, he took a lie detector test, and we asked him, did you intentionally expose your private area to any underage person? He answered no. Regarding that crime you were convicted of, did you do it? He said no. Did you attempt to sexually touch Danielle? He answered no. Did you expose yourself to Danielle when you drove her in your truck? He answered no. The results came back the same to each question, and they came back that Philip did not tell the truth. She comes here and she totally passes her lie detector test. The fact that you totally fail yours, I don't know you. This is not for TV. This is your results. This is you failing a lie detector test because you're not telling the truth. Why would you blow your whole life up again? I would express so much remorse to that young lady back there and say, you know what? I'm so sorry for what I did. I'm wrong, and I don't want to ever do it again.
Honestly?
Yeah.
If that's what it takes, is that what it takes?
Yeah, when you're wrong, you have to admit that you're wrong. Did you do it?
Not intentionally, no.
Not intentionally, but you did do it. Right? All right. Because these are serious crimes, and they're taken more seriously now more than ever. And if you don't get help, you are going to rot your life away in prison. And with that, get the hell off my stage. You know, a lot of mistakes were made here, none bigger than what Philip has done. But I gotta say, Mom, you contributed a lot to this problem here.
I know it.
You know, and when people are in love, they do make big mistakes. They make mistakes because their love blinds them. But this is your daughter we're talking about, and you can't pick anybody over your children. Whatever you decide when you get back home what you're going to do with Philip, you do what you need to do, what's ever best for you. But whatever you do decide, because we gave you, you know, we got him to admit the truth here, which, believe me, it's not easy to do. I hope that you'll let us know what you do decide to do so we can let everybody know watching who found this story, because this is a powerful story. And this probably happens a lot out there. And we want to know, whatever happens, whether you decide to let Philip go on his way or if you're going to press charges or whatever, we would definitely like to know when you get home what you decide to do if you contact the show so we can put this at the end of the show, okay? Thank you very much. Good luck to you. Good luck. Jackie's brother came to the show outraged after they found out that she was dating Paul, who was a level 3 sex offender. Paul swore he was innocent of the crime and appeared on my show to prove to Jackie and her family that he wasn't molesting her children. Take a look.
I'm here today to find out if my sister's boyfriend really molested my 2 nephews or not. Growing up, me and my sister were always really close, my whole family. We had a good relationship. We always did good in school. My sister went on to go to school to be a cosmetologist, graduated school. I had to leave and go away for a little bit. And while I was gone, she met Paul, and my parents informed me that she was dating a tier 3 sex offender. And then a few months later, I get a phone call from my mom, and she informs me that my oldest nephew has told her that Paul has been to the ceiling and tickling his and my youngest nephew, who informed her that he's been whispering in his ear, asking if he can pee.
Well, that's kind of unusual that she gave up custody of her 2 children because she wanted to be with you.
I didn't ask her, she just...
Well, I know, but don't you find that unusual? I mean, call me crazy, but I wouldn't want to be with a woman that would give up custody of her kids. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want any woman picking me over her children.
She says she's going to get him back whenever we get everything straightened out.
Fair question to ask you. Why wouldn't you leave until you do get straightened out?
Because I didn't do nothing wrong in the first place.
You start dating, and at some point, he says, oh, by the way, I'm a registered sex offender.
Yes.
Did he tell you that?
Yes, he did.
And your response to that was?
I just didn't know what to do or what to think. Well, I went and talked to my mom, and she wanted me just to leave him, but I couldn't just leave him. I love him to death.
You love him to death.
I also love my kids to death.
So at some point, the allegations came up that Paul had inappropriately touched your children.
Yes.
How did you find out about that?
My mother called me up about 7 months ago and told me that my 2 children were telling her that Paul was touching them inappropriately.
Okay. And what did you do?
I just broke down and cried. I didn't know what to do or what to think.
And when you were finished crying, what did you do?
Well, I talked to him about it and confronted him, and
what did he say?
Swears to God he didn't do it. So we called the police, did the investigation. There was nothing found. There was no evidence or anything like that. So they dropped everything, and I stayed with it.
You're married to her brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to leave him.
I love him, Jamila.
I know, but you know the truth. You told me. You told me before I moved back. You told me
me that he touched your boys.
That's
and
what everybody says.
When I came back, you said it was just because your mom was crazy.
Is that true? Is that true? You told her that you know that he touched your boys?
I told her that everybody is saying that he touched my boys.
Did she tell you that she knew that Paul touched her kids?
Yes.
All right, Jackie, you took a lie detector test. And we asked you, are you covering up for your boyfriend, Paul, for molesting your 2 children? You answered no. Did you notice signs that your sons were being sexually abused before the molestation accusation came out? You answered no. When the results came back the same for both questions, they came back inconclusive. We asked Paul, have you ever had any sexual physical contact with your 3-month-old son? He said no. He told the truth. We asked him, have you ever had any sexual physical contact with Jackie's 4-year-old son? He answered no, and Paul told the truth. We asked him, have you ever had sexual physical contact with Jackie's 6-year-old son? And he said no, and he did not tell the truth.
Let me take that again. Let me take it again. I did not do it.
Let me tell you something. It's a shame that you're going through life and you're really screwing up some young boys, all right? It's horrible. It's really horrible that you're doing that. And hopefully you'll end up in jail and then you won't be able to do it to anybody else. But what? But what's even more horrible than a guy like you who's doing it is the mother that protects a guy like you. Stage and you get out of my studio and you get the hell out of here and you keep walking and you don't stop. Ashley was only 14 years old when her father Leroy was convicted of molesting a 4-year-old child. But his daughter and his wife Vicky were determined to prove his innocence. But let's see if Leroy was a good dad or a child molester. Watch this.
I remember the day she told me, like the day we all found out. I just hugged my dad and cried, bawled my eyes out and told him this isn't you, you didn't do this.
People that molest children are just disgusting. It's the lowest form of life there is in my book.
Leroy is a kind-hearted, biggest-hearted person you know. He'd give you the shirt off his back. He would do anything for you.
And my father was accused of touching a 4-year-old girl, and at the time I was 14 years old.
I was running a daycare. Next thing I know, I get a phone call from the cops saying that I have to have my husband down to the precinct for an investigation.
I ended up confessing because I was confused. Confused, hung over, didn't know what was going on, what this man was talking to me about, or any of it.
When my mom explained that to me, I was crushed because I didn't think my father was that type of person. I still don't think he's that type of person.
When I found out what he was accused of, it destroyed me. When you know deep down inside that it's not possible, especially when you've been married for 20 years.
I lived my life for my wife and kids.
I went straight to my daughter to make sure that he didn't do it to her. I went to her friends, anybody that was in contact with the daycare. And they all told me the same thing. That no, he didn't touch him. He's a good person. He's not a child molester. That's the farthest thing from his mind is to touch a child.
My dad was in jail for 299 days, and it was hard because he had raised me when I was little. At first, I was like, when is he coming home? When is he coming home? I just want him home. And then when he got home, I found out I couldn't see him because he was a registered sex offender.
We couldn't live together We had to pay 2 separate rents, 2 cable bills, light bills, 2 everything. They made me have to choose to be with my daughter or to be with my husband. And of course, as a mother, I had to take care of my daughter.
I called the Steve Wilkos show because I knew, I watch him every day, daily, that he is the only man that could really help me in this situation.
My dad was labeled as a sex offender, and he shouldn't be labeled as this if he didn't do it.
Even though he's served his time, we still have to go through registration 4 times a year. We still get the ridicule of him being a sexually dangerous person, which he's not.
And my dad was all over the news, like this case was all over the news, and it was embarrassing because he's not that type of person, like he wouldn't do this.
Never in my life have I ever touched a child in any wrong way, shape, or form.
I don't believe it for a minute that he did. There's no possible way. Because if he, like I said, if he did it, why didn't he touch other children? It's ruined my life, my daughter's life, his life. It's not fair. I lost my daycare. I lost all friends. I have no friends. Because they don't want no part of me. Because I'm supporting him. But I have to support him. That was in my marriage vow. Better or worse. And this is the worst.
And I'm here to get my name cleared.
You're here to clear your name.
Clear my name and
because even though
get
you
my
were
life back.
Get your life back.
Get my life back.
But you were charged and you served 299 days in prison, right?
Yes, sir.
And this was a child at your wife's daycare, right?
Right.
Before this lie detector test you did for us, did you take one before?
Yes, sir.
And how did that one come out?
Truthful.
Truth, that you told the truth?
Truthful.
So when you go to court and a judge goes, how do you plead? What did you plead?
Not guilty.
Well then, how the hell did they convict you?
You're just as good as mine, sir. Like I said.
So you're saying you didn't confess?
No. No, I did not.
So now you're in jail. You're in there for almost a year. You come out. Now you're a registered sex offender for the rest of your life.
The rest of my natural-born life.
And your wife had to move away from you.
Yeah.
Your daughter had to move away from you because once you get out of jail, you're a registered sex offender. Your wife had to make a choice. And, you know, she picked the right one because she has to raise her child. Right. He says that, you know, you had the child care facility in your house. You get a call out of the blue from the police. He goes down to the station. He says he never confessed. How the hell did this all come about if he didn't do anything?
Your guess is as good as mine. It's, you know.
What do you have any theory at all?
No, sir.
I mean, you're just running a business. You're happily married. You got a daughter. And then next thing you know, he's spending 300 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
But he goes to court, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you in the courtroom at the time?
Yes, sir.
He pleads not guilty?
Yes, sir.
And who finds him guilty, a jury or a judge?
The judge.
The judge found him guilty and slaps him with, you know, a year in jail or 300 days. What was running through your mind when your husband's convicted of child molestation?
A lot. I actually went to the point of filing for divorce because I didn't know. I didn't know until after the lie detector test.
Are you guys divorced now?
No, sir.
Did you go through the divorce?
No, sir.
Was he around the kids in the daycare?
Yes.
So he was around?
It was in home. It was in my home.
Were you always there?
Yes.
When this happened, I was so young. I didn't understand everything that was going on. And now that I'm older, it's just like, I want to find out the truth. Like, I believe deep in my heart that he didn't do this. Right. Like, that's what I want to believe, and that's what I want to stick with. And seeing everything that my mom had to go through with not knowing and being confused and having to worry about me, like, it's just...
Losing her business?
Yeah, she lost everything. We lost everything.
As a child, and this is a very highly publicized case in your community, you're going to school, you know, I'm sure kids were not very nice to you, knowing that your father was accused of such a crime.
At the time, it didn't seem like they knew. And if they did, they didn't say anything. Like, I never got bullied for it or anything. Like, they barely ever said anything to me.
Okay, well,
but
that's
like,
good.
As far as, like, my family members, they were like, well, he did it. So, like, why are you dealing with this?
Leroy came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked him, regarding your daughter Ashley, did you ever engage in any sexual physical contact with her? You answered no. Did you ever have any sexual physical contact with any of the other children who were at your wife's daycare center? You answered no. Did you ever have sexual contact with the child in question? You answered no. Did you ever expose your private parts to the child in question? You answered no. The results came back the same to each question. And they came back that Leroy told the truth.
You. We always knew that you didn't do this.
We never believed you did it, honey.
It was hard, but we got it.
It's been the longest years of my life.
You know what, this may be a case of the little girl might have been molested, but certainly not by you.
That's right.
I can't imagine going to prison for a crime I didn't commit. The agony that you must feel trapped behind bars when you're totally innocent.
Yeah.
And it happens.
Oh, yeah, it did
and it happened to you.
That's right.
And you lost a year of your life.
I lost everything.
Your wife lost her business.
We lost it all.
Well, and nothing is going to make up that time.
No.
And you got robbed. You really did. You got robbed of a big chunk of your life.
More than robbed.
Yeah. But I hope that appearing on the show, that when you go back home, you can hold your head high and say, you know what, I think I've done everything to prove that I didn't do this. And I hope that maybe somebody watching out there that has the power to help within your legal system back in Michigan can help you and maybe get your record expunged. I wish you all the luck in the world.